Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about how to book a Disney vacation. There are a few different ways you can book through a travel agent, you can book on the phone, or you can book online. I think booking online is easiest for me and probably for a lot of other people, and so I'm going to share how to book online today in this video. Stay tuned if you want to see me click through and show you exactly how to go about booking a Walt Disney World vacation online.
Let's talk about how to book a Disney vacation using the Walt Disney World website. Now, there are other ways that you can do this. So you could have a Disney travel agent who would do it for you, and that's a great option for people who don't want to have to worry about this. And then you could also call the Disney hotline, so to speak, and you could go ahead and book your vacation that way. But I think this is probably the most common way that people book their trips, is doing it online, and this is the way that I've done it both of the times that I have. So, and it's really easy. I really like having all of my information stored online under my account. So that's the way that I'm going to show you how to do it today, because I would imagine that probably many people will do it this way. I realize that this is not the only way, but this is the way I'm going to show you how to do it. So here's how to book a Disney vacation using the website. So if you've already watched my first video, which was deciding when to visit Walt Disney World, and my second one in this series, which was deciding where to stay at Walt Disney World, then you know that by now you should already have your dates nailed down. And so the next thing to do is to go ahead and select when you plan on checking in, when you plan on checking out, and how many people are in your party. And you should have already at this point decided on your resort hotel. So if you haven't decided on your resort hotel, putting in your dates may help you narrow it down, because it will tell you the exact, the price of your hotel room, which varies and fluctuates throughout the year. So let's say that I am planning on going, in October, and I'm planning on going October 15th for a week through the 21st. And let's say that it's a family of 2 adults and 2 children, and the children are, how about 6 and 8? And then just click Find Prices, and you will get a list of the hotels that are available during that time and the prices. Now, this is pretty soon, so there might not be as much available as if you booked it a year in advance or something like that. But just looking through, you can see the different options that there are. There's the Grand Floridian, Caribbean Beach, which is a mid-tier resort, and then all of these down here are unavailable because, like I said, this is just in a few months, and Disney vacations are best booked well in advance. So let's say we're going to stay at Disney's Art of Animation, because that is a very popular resort among families with young kids, because it's really fun. There's a lot of different options, and the rooms, there are suites available so that you can have a little bit more space for your family. So you can go ahead and book just the room, meaning that you do not have theme park tickets or anything like that. You are just reserving your hotel room. So if you are getting your tickets elsewhere, or if you have an annual pass and don't need to purchase tickets, you may do that. But I always like to select package, because I like to get a better view of how much is this going to be overall, not just for one night. So for a week for 4 people in a family suite, which I'll show you the photos of, the family suites here in Art of Animation are really neat. Here's a Lion King family suite, heavily themed. This is a sleep sofa, I believe. There's a little kitchenette. You can see that bed pulls out. There's a really neat mosaic in the bathroom that kind of looks like the sunrise or the sunset on the savannah. And then there's a Finding Nemo suite, which is differently themed, but it's the same kind of setup. And then there is a Cars family suite. So if you have children who are obsessed with any of those movies, this could be a fun way to kind of add some extra magic to your vacation. So anyway, what's available right now is a family suite, and the theme, it says, is assigned upon check-in. So you can go through a series of events to request the certain theme that you want, but you can't be too sure. You can see down here, you can go and choose the suites that you want. But anyway, let's just say that I'm choosing this one, and I'm just okay with having the theme assigned to me during, once I go ahead and check in. So you want to select that. Now I'm going to be there for 7 days, but this is important to look at your calendar and decide whether you plan on going to a park every day, because maybe the first day you fly in, you're flying in the evening, you're not going to a park, or the last day you're flying out in the morning and you're not going to a park. So in that case, you might only need a 5-day ticket. But let's imagine that, I have 2 kids and we're taking our kids, early in the morning on the first day and leaving late at night. So we do need the full 7-day ticket. So I'm selecting that for each person. Then down here, you can choose to get the Park Hopper option. You can choose to get a base ticket or the Park Hopper Plus, which also includes water parks and a couple of other things as well. I always select this Park Hopper option whenever we have gone because it allows you to go between 2 parks. So you could go to Epcot in the morning and Magic Kingdom in the evening, for example, which is what my husband and I have done every single time. We really like being able to go between 2 different parks in one day. It just works out really well for us. So I highly recommend the Park Hopper option. It is not a necessity, but I do recommend it. And you can read more about that online and look into that for your family. But I think a lot of people really do enjoy being able to go between 2 different parks because you get up early in the morning, you may go to one park for a few hours, you may head back, and have your little ones take a nap. And then in the evening, you might not want to go back to the same park. You might want to go do the nighttime show at a different park or a restaurant at a different park. So that's something to consider. Anyway, let's say that I am adding the Park Hopper option and I'm clicking continue. So you can see this is pretty self-explanatory. I'm just kind of giving you some commentary, but I think most people would be able to walk through this without any extra help. Now here's the dining plan options. You need to decide whether the dining plan is worth it for you and your family based on where you plan on going, how much each person consumes and eats in a day, the kind of trip you're looking for. All these different factors play into whether or not the dining plan makes sense for you. I have done the dining plan one time that I've gone, and I have not done it the other time. I loved having it. For us financially, it did make sense because when we factored in the different places we were planning on going, it was less expensive to actually do the dining plan, but for some families that's not the case. So you do need to look into it. If money is not the object and you're just trying to decide whether or not it makes sense for you, I highly recommend the dining plan for the reason that it feels very all-inclusive. Your dining plan will be housed on your Magic Band, which is like a RFID chip within a bracelet that you will wear as your room key to your Disney resort and as your entrance ticket into the various parks and as your dining plan. So it just makes it really easy, and it's really kind of fun to eat a delicious meal and then just scan your Magic Band and you're done. So that's just something you got to look into. But there are 3 different tiers for the dining plan. There is the quick service dining plan, the Disney dining plan, and the deluxe dining plan. The quick service dining plan, you can read what it includes. So quick service meals are maybe like a cheeseburger and french fries and a Coke, and there's not a waiter or waitress, and you just go ahead and pick it up. It's kind of like fast food. Then a table service meal, which is included in both the Disney dining plan and the deluxe dining plan, is what it sounds like. You sit down, you have a waiter or a waitress, it's a more formalized meal, that kind of thing. And then snacks are things like popcorn. You could get a popsicle of some kind or an ice cream bar of some kind. They're all different treats. Any drink at Starbucks is a snack credit, so you can look into that. There are a lot of different snack credit options, and then you also get a drink mug at all of the different tiers. I have done this Disney dining plan, the middle tier package, in the past, and it was perfect for us. So each day we would have one quick service meal, and so a lot of times we would use that in the morning for breakfast or for lunch, and then we would use the 2 snacks for whichever meal we didn't use it for. So let's say we used quick service for lunch, then maybe for breakfast we went to a coffee shop or one of the little places within the parks, and we would just grab like a drink and a little breakfast sandwich, which would be like 2 snack credits a lot of times. And then in the evenings for dinner, we would sit down and have a more formal table service meal. So anyway, you have to kind of decide whether this works for you and your family based on your needs. Once again, I highly recommend going over to Shannon's site, wdwprepschool.com, and searching the dining plan, and then you can go through all of her different posts. I know that she has a great podcast episode about the dining plan as well, called Is the Dining Plan Worth It? So you can go through and read all of these different things and figure out what works for you and your family, whether this makes sense or not. For us, it has made sense. It may not make sense for you. I can't tell you what's going to work for your family, but I do recommend looking into it if you're interested at all. Of course, you could do no dining plan, and then you could just go into the parks and pay cash or use your credit card that's housed on your Magic Band. And so that still feels all inclusive, but you're not using credits. You're using, dollars. So it just kind of depends. Anyway, then you click continue once you've decided. So I'm going to say that we're selecting this mid-tier Disney dining plan like I have done in the past. And then you'll get to your cart and it will give you a overview of what you've selected. So you can see I have selected October 15th through the 21st with 2 adults and 2 children. The resort that I've chosen is Art of Animation in a family suite. I've chosen the 7-day ticket with the park hopper option. Now here's where you can add Memory Maker. So there are photographers housed all over the parks and they're called PhotoPass photographers. And they'll take a picture of you and your family, and then you will scan your Magic Band, and then you can log on to the My Disney Experience app, or you can log online and you can view that picture. It will have a large watermark over it, but you can purchase it for about $15 and download that image to your phone or computer, whatever. Or you can purchase Memory Maker. Memory Maker is something that Riley, my husband, and I bought on the first trip that we went on, and it didn't make a lot of sense for us just being 2 adults, but I would imagine for families it probably makes a lot of sense. Memory Maker gives you every single picture that you take already, no watermark, nothing like that you can download to your phone right immediately after it's taken. So for example, if you have Memory Maker and you walk into Magic Kingdom, a PhotoPass photographer takes a photo of you and your family in front of the castle, and then you scan your Magic Band, then you can log into your My Disney Experience app and you immediately have that photo, no watermark. You don't have to purchase it because you've already bought Memory Maker and it's included in Memory Maker. So you could go ahead and post that to Facebook or Instagram, or you could just have it, whatever works for you. Also with Memory Maker, on certain rides and attractions, you will get the in-ride videos or photos sent directly to your phone just by walking through the queue. There are scanners that will scan your Magic Band and add those to your My Disney Experience app as well. So it's something to consider. Once again, you can go over here to Shannon's site and search Memory Maker. And from there, you can see whether or not, here we go. This is a podcast episode 59. Is Memory Maker worth it? If you buy the Memory Maker after, right when you're getting to your trip, it's more expensive than if you buy it in advance. But you can kind of click through and figure out if Memory Maker is worth it for you and your family. With people having smartphones now, it might not be worth it. You could just take your own pictures. But if you want quite a lot of, high quality professional photographs, when your kids are meeting characters, the PhotoPass photographers are there. On the rides, there are, PhotoPass photos that are automatically taken. There are PhotoPass photographers stationed all over the parks. So it just depends on how many images you are looking for. Of course, you can always purchase them individually instead of buying the whole package of them, but that's up to you. So anyway, Memory Maker, I'm just going to select it for this trip because I think a lot of people with kids do end up selecting Memory Maker as an option. Then you can go ahead and choose your flight. You can add your flight right here. You do have to purchase the flight in full. You can't put a payment, you can't do like a payment plan toward your flight the way that you can with this vacation, but that's an option too. I always like to fly Southwest Airlines, which is not a flight that you can book through this interface, but that's up to you. And then finally, you can add ground transportation. So you can go ahead and click Disney's Magical Express service, which is just a included airport transfer service from the airport to your resort and back. The best thing that I think about the Magical Express service is that when you are getting ready to leave for your trip, Disney will mail you these tags for your suitcases, and you will put those tags on your suitcases before you even arrive at the airport to fly to Orlando. So you will put those tags on your suitcases, you'll go to the airport that you are flying out of, they will check those suitcases in, and then you will not see those suitcases again until you are in your resort hotel room in Disney, because the Disney people will see those tags once they've arrived in Orlando. They will transfer them to your resort and then they will put them in your room for you. This is one of the most magical parts about staying at a Disney resort. We just thought it was so amazing to not have to worry about getting our bags at baggage claim or anything like that. We were able to get right on the bus, the Magical Express bus, right to our resort. And then we were able to head out to Magic Kingdom very quickly after we arrived. Rather than having to cart bags around and carry them up 3 flights of stairs and do all those things, Disney just took care of that for us. So for just 2 adults, it was super magical and very helpful. I would imagine for families with children, it would be even more so, because you don't have to worry about, you already probably have strollers and other things like that. You don't then also have to worry about your suitcases. So that's just something to consider. So if you just click this, and then click next, it will take you to a page where you can put your flight information in if you've already made your flight. If you have not already made your flight, then you just keep this box unchecked, because this box is indicating that you can provide your flight information. And you'll just need to call Disney to provide that before your actual trip, which is very easy. You just push done. And then once you've pushed done, you are good to check out, because you have gone through all of the different things. You can see the full price of your trip, which for this one is $5,000, $845.52. And so you can just click checkout and it will lead you through the prompts. When you're booking a Disney vacation, you have to put down at least $200 to hold your vacation. And then you have until 1 month before your arrival date. So for this trip, I would have until September 15th to pay the trip off in full. But you can log on to this website and put in different amounts of money in different installments from now until September 15th. And then once September 15th hits, this full $1,500 needs to be completely paid off in order for you to hold your spot. You can also click, if you're ready to do that, then you would just check out, and that would be the end of it. If you are looking at this and thinking that you want to compare it to another option, you can click compare vacation options right here, and it will take you to a page where you can choose several vacation offers. So you could play around with, okay, here's one that's the Grand Floridian, it's a different time. So you could change the dates. You could do a personalized recommendation. You could do a build your own, that kind of thing. And then at the end, you can see the different prices. So offer 1 subtotal, offer 2 subtotal, and you can compare them piece by piece together and see what the differences are between them. So that's something to consider as well. If you have like a couple of resorts in mind and you're not sure which one you want to go with, or a couple of different date frames in mind and you're not sure, you could do that. Then once you've decided, you just would click select offer. It will take you back to that cart, and then you can go ahead and check out. So that is how to book a Disney World vacation on the website. Again, there are other ways to do this through a travel agent, or you could call on the phone and do this online. I really like doing it on the internet because I'm a very visual person. I like being able to see the different options I'm selecting and how that affects the bottom line price, but you could do it a different way if you wanted to. So that is how to book your Disney World vacation. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them for you. But I would recommend just logging onto the Walt Disney World website and trying for yourself and clicking through for yourself, because it is quite self-explanatory, and they have made it pretty easy to be able to book your own vacation.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope if you plan on booking your trip online, this video was helpful to you. Again, you can always go through a travel agent, or you can call Disney and have them book it for you on the phone. Any of those that works for you is great. I prefer to book my trip online, and that's why I wanted to show you how to do that in this video today. Make sure to stay tuned. My next video will be how to create a daily plan in Disney. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're interested in more Disney content.